is what I think is the problem with the Middle East, because they're not getting choice dick, they're not getting choice pussy, they're not getting choice shit, right? So I would be pissed too. And what are we doing? We're just coming in and we're just pissing off already pissed off people. So I have a solution. I call it the 3 Ps. PlayStation, pot, and porn. Right? Because think about it. Who's going out to kill infidels when you can do so from the comfort of your own home? Right? It's like, dude, you want to go kill some Arabs? I mean, no, that's our own people. You want to kill some Jews? Some Americans? You know, the white ones? No, dude, because I just killed 37,000 of them on Grand Theft Auto. And I'm almost at the 14th level. So no, Ahmed, I'm not fucking going anywhere. All right? And just go with it. Come on, you can handle it. What the fuck? And then when's the last time you saw a pissed off pothead that had pot? Right? I mean, the only thing they're murdering is a fucking cheeseburger, right? And then what's the last thing that could possibly make you angry after all that? If you're horny. So that's when we send in Debbie Does Dallas, or in this case, Debbie Does Hamas, and we're good. So, and you know what? If they don't like it, in the words of Eric Cartman, fuck you guys, I'm going home. Wow, looking at that really brings back the memories. That's where all of this started for me. Maybe some of you know that, some of you don't. Well, now you do. So that's why we're doing an entire episode on comedy, hardity, har. And I love the outtakes too. So we're going to leave it like that. And we're going to take it to Constance Klosterman, who is the zany, twisted, funny lady. We've got Charles McBee, the mastermind behind It's a Chucked Up Life, funny dude. We've got Kenny Garcia, my personal angel of comedy, and we've got Terrible Tim, who, I mean, you can figure it out, right? Terrible Tim, he's our musical guest. So it's funny, har. I'm going to shut it so you can get your giggles on. And here we go. Comedy. We're here with Constance Klosterman. Constance, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you're a multi-talented girl.
It doesn't help.
Gets a little, right?
It gets confusing.
I'm sure. You have acting, you have comedy. Tell me a little bit first about, let's say, the acting. What made you want to pursue acting?
When I was in film school, I always got stuck being the model or the actor.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you were chosen already,
yeah.
Just like that?
And I would just go to auditions just for fun. Like, I found I could sing that way.
Wow.
I went to this musical audition, and I just did it. Just sang. I was like, I don't know, whatever, see what happens. I got the role.
Wow. Look at that.
Or sometimes, like, I'd challenge it and be like, oh, this is a guy role? I'm going to try out for it anyways. And I'd get it.
Wow. So you're fearless.
Yeah.
That's a wonderful thing, I mean, especially for a performer. Most people, it takes them years to get to that point. That's great.
I mean, I talk about how gay men are like batteries to a vibrator in front of my mother at a show, pretty much. So it's like, yeah.
Wait, gay men are like...
batteries to a vibrator, heaven.
We do love our gay boys.
Yeah.
At the I Love
They're
Nicole
like
show.
diamonds, the girl's best friends.
That's right. They so are. So now tell me about the comedy. You were telling me before that your comedy is basically about the things that you feel a little whatever perturbed about, maybe, right? Your jokes were about your insecurities, which were the two that...
Oh, like my boobs and being Asian.
So who loves boobs out here? When I was 9 years old, I prayed to God that my plane wouldn't crash on the way to Disneyland. And for huge Pam Anderson boobs. I kid you not. I even asked Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny for toys every big boy want to play with. You see, as I grew older, I found out that Santa, the Easter Bunny, and Pam's breast had one thing in common. But I still wanted them. I still wanted to believe in them, have them. I mean, if you believed in Santa or the Easter Bunny, you still got presents and candy, right? So maybe I get boobs. I was Tom Cruise and Mel Gibson with my own religion. I was flashing at 9 years old. I wanted everyone to know. I have boobs, bazumas, tatas! There was one A that was the most devastating to receive in high school. Yes, college as well, elementary school, and middle school, and that was my bra size. And I continue to have straight A's even today. How I craved that failing grade when it came to bra sizes. I took a D this one time in my life. How I'd take the grades I was bringing in math, a B. And now I found out that bra sizes go up to Z now. Those fuckers could kill. Yeah. I wouldn't want to titty fuck those. You could titty fuck a whole man through those. A dick could get lost in there. I mean, it'd be like the hokey pokey. Put your dick in, put your dick out, put your dick in, black hole.
It's boobs and Asian. She's like, I'm like, both cool things to me, but good. It's all about the perspective, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Like, I refuse to have rice or fish at a restaurant because I'm afraid it's like racial profiling pretty much.
Which is...
Or like talking about my breasts and like wanting plastic surgery and like all this stuff.
So, what's your experience been like in the comedy circuit, right, in New York? I mean...
Well, I have my third show coming up. The way that I am is, like I told you before, I'm daring. So I did my first show at the biggest venue in New York, at Gotham.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how did that go?
That went really well.
Nice.
Helen Hong introduced me, so it's really cool.
Nice.
Lovo.
Wonderful. So, what's your goal with the comedy? Like, what's your dream to become?
Well, I like it because it helps people. Like, I want to do a tour with the troops, possibly, if they take me in August. I have to see if they do.
Sounds good. That's fantastic. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Constance. Constance. So Charles, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Charles and I went to comedy school together. We both had done comedy before, and then we went to hone our skills,
yes,
right?
Because we are professionals.
That's right. That's right. It's always tinkering, right? So, and then you decided to go into doing a webisode.
Correct.
It's a Chucked Up Life.
Yes.
Great title. So tell me, how did you make that transition and why from doing comedy into your own webisode?
Well, I originally started back in college in theater and film. That's where I got my degree in. So I was already into the acting and the directing side of it. And just going from club to club, honestly, like I would see acts go on stage before me, or I would try and get on stage and couldn't. And I would see certain acts, and I'm like, how the fuck did he get... Is he getting stage time?
I got into a bit of a fisticuffs the other day. Kerfuffle, if you will. It was with another black guy, right? And what happened was he called me an Oreo. An Oreo. Yeah, some of you are looking at me like, I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely... Big deal. He called me an Oreo. If you don't know what an Oreo is, it's a black person who's black on the outside but acts white on the inside, right? And when I asked him why he would call me an Oreo, his exact words to me, sir, were, and I quote, "Because you be speaking in complete sentences and shit." That's what he said. To which I responded, well, you've served complete sentences.
Like, you know what? I still want to pursue stand-up, but I should also pursue things that could give me a credit that I can say, hey, and maybe get a fan base and people can see me. and then hopefully that'll allow me to do more stand-up. So it's all to try and get more stage time.
Yeah,
I guess in the end. But
I see. So really, it was a road for you to take,
right,
to get more into doing stand-up. Is that still the road?
It's still the road. I still love acting and directing. So even now, I'm going more into short films and directing short films and writing short films because it's still a passion of mine. But I know that if I'm successful in that world, you can walk into pretty much any club and, you know, get stage time. So hopefully I can kill two birds with one stone with that.
That sounds...
Because you can't be a stand-up comic and then walk onto a, you know, director set and go, hey, put me in your film. And they're like, who the hell are you? What?
Show me something.
Right. So I figured I'd go the other route.
So how do you write A Chucked Up Life? And does it come from the comedy writing? Is that the same? Explain that a little bit.
It does, but it's a little different because with the comedy with stand-up, I'm always writing from my perspective, always. Even if I'm doing another character on stage, it's still from my perspective. With screenplay writing or script writing, you have to write from other people's perspective without making it seem like it's coming from one person.
Right. Girls sound like guys.
Right.
Everyone talks kind of like
the same. Like everyone talks the same. So that's tricky. You really have to kind of take yourself out of it and put yourself in different people and really give them their own voice. But I mean, I'm kind of used to it. Like I said, I have a background in like theater and stuff, so I'm used to like playing different characters and having fun with that. But that's pretty much the only difference. And just, you know, really telling the story. Everything's not set up punched. It's kind of, you can do things visually that you can't do on stage, you know, verbally. So it's just a different dynamic, I guess.
You definitely get that. I mean, you know, it's not just because you're my buddy that, you know, from comedy that you're on the show. I mean, I saw it and I was like, wow, look at what this guy is.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we just wanted to make something we could look at and go, oh, this is cool. We make us laugh. I mean, nothing is greater than like editing it and me and Gary are just laughing our asses off. Right. Just us, just because we think it's funny. Yeah. So if we think it's funny, then that's good enough. And hopefully, obviously, other people think it's funny too. But
absolutely,
that was pretty much the goal. Just make us laugh.
My train is this way.
You can be the next Tyler Perry. Can you say something like, I'm gonna bust a cap in your ass? You know how he does that line?
Oh, look at me. I'm a nerdy black comic with my little ironic Western shirt and my little glasses. How's my swag gonna taste with the side of my nuts in your mouth?
Here's some advice. No straight guy will ever just want to be friends with you. Ever.
I'm just the person who warned you that the hot blonde who kept reaching for your balls at the bar that night was trying to remember what it felt like to have them. But that's what you get for being a friend.
I'm so sick of this platonic friend bullshit they try and throw at us. We show them all the qualities they're looking for in a guy, right? And how do they reward us? By not having sex with us.
Oh, yeah! Is this how you live your life? Sneaking around online looking for white women that'll let you lick their toes and play with their booty holes?
The condom did fit, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty silly question to ask a black guy.
You told her you have AIDS?
What was I supposed to say?
You could have told her the truth, that your name isn't Mandingo and you couldn't fit into the goddamn condom.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having
being
me
on the show.
Thank you, and congratulations to all your success. This is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and all the best to you, and we're going to be watching.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Yes.
So we're here with Kenny Garcia. Hello, Kenny.
Hi, Nicole.
So glad you could make it.
It's my pleasure. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So Kenny is I call him my comedy angel, because every club that I went to after like my second stand-up, he got me to. So I've got this gigantic resume. So
I don't know about gigantic, but
it's bigger than it was before I met you. That's for sure. So tell me, I know it's kind of a goofy question, but when did you realize that you were like a total fucking goofball and really good at it?
Like really early when I was young. Like my mom kind of helped, bring that about. I mean, she was funny. She still is funny. Not as funny as she used to be. But, she kind of helped, like, cultivate that. Like, had me, like, prank calling her job.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. Like, got off. It was just her and I. So she got off on, like, having me call and pretend to be, like, a lawyer or, like, be, like, some attorney.
She would tell you what to be.
She would say, hey, call and say, hey, you're Vic Warren, Esquire. And
how old were you
I was
doing
like
this?
7, 8, 9 years old.
And you were good at it.
And I was good. And I enjoyed tricking people. And I enjoyed, like, doing the thing where, you're exaggerating the truth a little bit to just get a reaction. And, just when you find it's power to make someone laugh. And so I really enjoyed that power at a young age and to do that stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, and then you've been doing a lot of hosting. And I think you're really good at it.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
You're good at stand-up, and hosting is a totally different thing. And you just have this really easy way he has this easy way of just being, I don't know, funny. It just seems to come from nowhere. Like, how does that work, and what's the transition?
Well, the stand-up is just more of like, you have your routine, you have your set that you want to do, and
you ever drop your phone, but just catch it like right before the last second, right before it hits the ground? You get this incredible rush of adrenaline, like you just did the most amazing shit you've ever done in your entire life. You look around and see if anyone saw how amazing your reflexes were. Like, I got it. It's gotten to the point where we do really irrational shit for our phone, though. We love them. We'll do anything for it. I'm guilty of this myself. Just last week, my apartment was burning down. Made it out safely. Went for the phone, no phone. So I did what any of us would do. I ran back into the apartment for the cell phone. Ran back in, didn't know where the phone was, asked the fireman, call my phone. He called it. And we heard the phone ringing over in the corner of the apartment. And my little daughter, 6 years old, was holding the phone. I left her too in the apartment. And it's a problem. And the phone rang. She was crying. There was debris. She was scared. And I panicked. So I kicked her in the face, I grabbed the phone, and I got the hell out of there. Because you can always make another baby. You know how hard it is to get all your contacts back? It's damn impossible. I wish I would have grabbed the charger too, because that's important.
So, but you have to really be in the moment with that.
Yeah, like, I mean, you have your jokes that you use that are like your staples and are going to get a laugh. Mm-hmm. And then with my jokes are like very like conversational. Like I like to tell a story and like kind of, again, I go back to like exaggerated truths. And, I think people kind of can connect with that. It feels like I'm talking just to them. And that's the way I'm able to connect with them, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of take them on a little ride, and they're taking me on a ride just as much as I'm taking them on a ride, because sometimes they don't like something, or sometimes they they love something, and you're a little surprised by how much they love something, and so.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember a time before caller ID? Anyone? Yeah. Do you remember the anxiety and the pressure that went into the phone call? Your phone would ring in the other room, you just never knew who was calling. It was scary. All this anxiety in the phone call. We've lost that now with all this technology. We get a name, a number, we put it right into our cell phone. We know who's calling all the time. But every once in a while, we get a throwback to the days before caller ID. We get the blocked call, Your phone rings and you look down at it and it's scary. You look at it like you're holding a live grenade. You don't know what the hell to do with the blocked call, Because it's someone you owe money to. It's gotta be, If you're with your friend, you show them your phone for confirmation. Like, oh my God, I'm getting a blocked call. They always ask you the same dumbass question. You gonna answer it? And if with your friend, you gotta answer the blocked call. And if you answer, you always answer the same way. We look around, make sure nobody's watching us, and we disguise our voice. So we go, hello? Oh, God. Why'd you call me from the block number for, bro? Scared the crap out of me.
So how would you take all these skills and talents that you have, and what do you see for yourself? And two-part question, I'm going to give you the same one. If you were to have a comedy special, if that's the way that it is, then what would you call it? So 2 parts.
Well, I'll answer the first one.
Good.
I've had this in my head for a really long time, like even before I started doing stand-up comedy. If I were to have a special, it would be called the sounds of consensual sex. I don't know why, it just sounds funny to me. And
I love it. That's fantastic.
And in terms of the first question, like I'm one of those people who, you know, I like to kind of keep my ambitions like to myself in a way, like whatever's gonna happen with it will happen, and it'll kind of just open itself to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Nice.
So, like kind of the theory of cream rises to the top.
There you go.
Yeah.
That works.
Hopefully.
You know what my special would be called?
What would it be called?
Slightly lubricated.
Ooh, perfect.
There you go.
Slightly lubricated.
Slightly lubricated. All right. Well, Kenny, thank you so much for coming in and talking.
It's been my pleasure, Nicole.
Thank you.
And good luck with the show. I hope this thing takes off.
Thank you very much. And I'll be looking for your special.
All right.
We'll see, whatever that is.
Sounds good.
All right, Doc. So here we are with Terrible Tim. Terrible Tim, who's not so terrible, who's quite awesome to hang out with. Welcome to the show, Tim.
Nicole, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Okay.
So tell me, where did Terrible Tim come from, the concept, and your comedy music, where does that come from?
Well, back in 1995, I had 3 songs that I wrote. And I just wanted to get it out of my system. I saw that they had this public access TV in Staten Island. And so I went down there and I called the show Timothy's Terrible Tunes. And
nice title.
Yeah, there's that alliteration effect, I guess.
Yep.
And some people down there started calling me Terrible Tim. And it didn't stick right away. And then it did stick after a while, and I said, yeah, Terrible Tim, sure, why not?
So where does the music, where does the inspiration for the lyrics come from? You have very interesting lyrics.
The songs wrote themselves. I just started the words and the music just literally would come to me. I pick up the guitar, and I'm singing a song about this guy, that guy, and the other guy. And then on a lark, I wrote like a couple of songs about sex, and I saw how shocked and offended people were, and I just got off on that. And so there's also a lot of songs with sexually oriented content, and people have this idea about, oh, Tim is a guy with foul language and everything, but if I sit down and talk to you in my everyday dealings with people, there's not a curse words coming out of me at all. But in art, there's a license, I guess, that I feel that I like to use, so that's how the genesis of how the adult-oriented songs were developed.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I like that because, you know, art doesn't necessarily have to be everything that you are. It's a part of you, it's a part of life, it's part of the world, right?
Yeah.
So, for instance, the Chode song, okay? I mean, it's a song about a chode, and it's hilarious, and guess what? It's catchy. It will stick in your head, and you'll be... My friend, Amanda, who was on the show, Amanda Bruton, is like... She's like... And my chode...
My testicles are full and ready to discharge. Terrible Tim shoots a load, it's going to be large. Drown beneath my hose, it is a thick and gooey load. Bubble, gag, and gurgle, choke on Terrible Tim's chode. Terrible Tim's going to explode. Oh no, and so you bubble, gag, and gurgle on my chode. Yeah, you bubble, gag, and gurgle on my chode.
So where did that song come from? And it's hilarious. And I mean, and if it's just obvious, then you crank out a lot of songs, don't you?
Yeah.
You have a Sharon Osbourne song,
yeah,
right, which is hilarious. Check that one out. You also have this song "Funeral" that I posted something on Facebook, and he posted this funeral song, and it was so linked to what I had about consciousness that I thought he just came up with it. He's like, oh, I've had it for a while. That one's pretty deep. So what's your dream for Terrible Tim to get to? What's like your comedic height that you could reach for?
That's the dream, just to get the thing out. And if you can make a few dollars, that would be nice also.
Nice.
But I'm not
The gift of the music is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Get your music out there. Awesome, Tim.
Yeah, 'cause
That's great. So Terrible Tim, everyone. Terrible Tim.
She was on terribletim.com, and you can get my Facebook links off of there too.
Warning, viewer discretion is seriously advised. The next song you're about to see has some filthy language. Now, if you like that thing, go ahead and tune in.
Terrible Tim has decided to do a little live tune for us right now, so let's check it out.
All right. Terrible Timmy got up in your hood. Terrible Timmy got the big fat wood. Terrible Timmy got the wood that could eat, shooting his semen like a young boy should. Terrible Timmy got the big fat dick, discharge his semen so thick. Terrible Timmy got the big fat load. Terrible Timmy got up in your hole. Terrible Timmy got the terrible Tim. 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 Terrible Tim with the big fat rod. Terrible Timmy got up in your bod. Terrible Timmy stick it into your tubes. Terrible Timmy got the terrible goo. Terrible Tim with the big fat cock. Terrible Timmy got up in your slot. Stick it into your doo-doo hole. Blood's all over the toilet bowl. Terrible Timmy got the terrible Tim. Terrible Timmy got the terrible Tim. Terrible Timmy got the terrible Tim. Terrible Timmy got the terrible Tim.
And that's comedy, people. It's something, that's for sure. Laugh, don't, it is what it is, right? So, I don't know what this part was. I'm holding on to the handlebars of comedy. Why? Because we've got 2 seconds to say goodnight and watch us for the rest of the season. Couple more shows with massive comedy, awesome stuff, very informative. So, I'm Nicole, and remember, love yourself, love the world. Good night.